keep making these damn ZVS drivers. I don't know why. Got a few of them that I just kept wanting to play around with, but I had other uses for them, usually some type of lighting inverter. So anyway, here was another one. Sure enough, I ended up just kind of making a induction heating setup, really just because I had that coil. That's a tiny little piece of refrigerator pipe. Ooh, that's still hot. So probably what I'll end up doing eventually is taking that off and maybe trying to water cool that. You know, it doesn't... It's really small. The amount of power I'm going to put through it's probably not going to be worth it. But I don't have a high enough current supply at the moment. Aside from this one, nothing spectacular there. But what was kind of cool about this setup is these are all 33 nanofarad capacitors. There's 8 of them stacked together, so that only gives me a little over 260 nanofarad. So this gives me a running frequency of over 300 kilohertz, which is pretty damn high. Typically, really don't want to run them that high, and I'll probably get way better efficiency if I drop that down some, but it does actually happen to work fairly well, this basic circuit here. So you can see again, this is the 2 choke deal. So I've got the single primary, single work coil. The only change here is I'm just using a 15 volt regulator. So got a 15 volt regulator powering the gates, and I was able to drop the gate resistance down to something like 360 ohms, and I just sort of kept dropping it till got to the point those gate resistors weren't getting too hot. So basically with the way this is set up, unless I split the rails, right now they're not split, feed it up to about 35 volts. I just thought it was kind of cool the way that works. So about 30 volts, you know, pulls about maybe an amp and a half or so. And what that's doing is heating up this coil pretty good. Still does sort of work all right. So if I put that in there, the immediate goes up from a little under 2 to 4, slowly goes up a little bit, then heats it up pretty quick. I'll take it out. Back in. So it's a little too hot to hold right there. But, you know, heats it up pretty quick, then comes back down, and, you know, pulling less than an amp now. So works like your normal deal. So if I take something big like this, put that in there, pulling over, you know, close to 5-6 amps now. But it does heat it up. It went all the way up to about 7 amps, and now it's going back down because it's heated up. The capacitors, stacking this many of them, I can feel just a slight bit of warmth on them, but a lot of that seems like it's just coming from the work coil, which is pretty damn hot. And one thing I was worried about was I used real baby like 22 gauge wire on these inductors here, and I didn't think those would really be able to handle it, but I haven't really felt too much warmth on them, even running them for a while. So, you know, unless I really up the power, I might be alright just leaving it set up like that. With this screwdriver again, it's about the only screwdriver I'm okay with ruining. So if I cut it on, put that in there. Oops. It really doesn't take long to heat that up, but I've already drained a good deal from that battery just doing that. And I literally just charged it, so it is a bootleg battery, but it's kind of cool. So do it again. So as I put it in there, it's drawn and all the way up. We even went close to about 8 amps that time, but it is a pretty instantaneous heat up there for something like that. Alright, so I get the impression that, put it in there a little more, get the impression that if I had that little coil water cooled and had a beefier power supply, then something like this could easily start heating up some stuff pretty good. See, it's pulling that battery voltage down a good deal as I keep running that screwdriver in there. Ooh, that's hot. That is real hot. I burned the crap out of myself. So So again, you know, a battery like that'll do it. I don't know how many times I can get away with that before that battery starts kicking out, which it was just about to. You know, something like that. Now I can feel this little heat sink right here starting to get a little bit warm. These inductors, again, 22 gauge is doing a lot better than I thought it would. Probably the mass of these cores is helping that out. A build like this, which is really, really cheap, all I would do is increase the gauge of this wire on these chokes here, probably up the size of this tank cap here, up the size of that work coil very slightly. Then just get some cheapo tubes and a little pump and, you know, water, and just have that water cooled. It seemed like it worked pretty good. Might even be able to get a little crucible deal going up the heat sink maybe a little bit for long runs, maybe throw a little fan on it. Alright, so here's the biggest screwdriver I got. It's quite a bit bigger than these other ones. Had to recharge the damn battery just to try this. So alright, cut it on and put this guy in there like this. See the current go up. Can just really do just the tip of it, or it's going to pull too much. So like that right there. I'll leave that in there. See how long that takes to heat up. The current actually started shooting up to about 8 amps. Hopefully that thing won't, the thermal switch won't kick out. I don't know, it might. But it is getting that sucker red. Oh, yep, the thermal switch just kicked out. But it got that sucker red. I'm going to kick it back on as soon as I can. Come on, come on. Alright, there it goes. And I'm going to put less current into it, see if I can get it red again. I'm going to slowly heat that tip back up without tripping my thermal breaker. So you can see that's about 7 amps. Going down to about 6. So, you know, it's looking like if you wait a little while, 150, 200 watts or so, it's really all you need. Just gonna keep heating that sucker up. I would have thought it would have taken a lot longer than this at under, you know, 300 watts or so, but man, seems to work pretty good. I don't know where I'll put this damn thing. I can feel the heat coming off that coil. If you get a little short run like that, hottest thing is that work coil. Choke still cold, heat sink. I can feel just barely getting warm. So again, that's just a bootleg little aluminum plate vent over. Yeah, not bad.